Is it weird having a week off after 2 games after the break? You almost want to get back out there with the way you guys are playing?
Yeah, it's definitely a little weird, especially with how used to we kind of got to our schedule at the first half of the season. But I think at the same time, it'll be good. I still feel like there's things that we can improve on, and then obviously going to Minnesota, a place that we have won, but we know, Fee will be back playing. The crowd will be great, and another really big game for us. And then we go to Atlanta, I believe, after that. So another week where we came in here today and we competed, we played hard, we played live a lot. We just continue to build on the momentum that we kind of have.
What do you think's clicking for you guys offensively, just in general? It feels like these last 2 games, all 4 quarters, it's been consistent firepower.
I think it's just the pace that we're playing at. We know that's when we're at our best, is when we're going in transition. But I think that that starts with how we play defense. I think when we get some stops and are able to go in transition, you see that's when we really thrive. So that was one of probably our biggest focus over the break, is just improving on defense. And we held the Storm to 75, I believe it was. So when we're able to do that, usually we're pretty successful.
What did you work on defensively in those 3 weeks?
A lot of ball screen stuff. That's what everybody plays out of. So doing that, doing some trapping stuff, so we're able to mix things up when we're going against different teams. But honestly, just shell defense. Helping your teammates out. We don't want to leave our teammates one-on-one and have to guard by themselves. I think our help defense has been a lot better over the first 2 games that we've played. We've been there to help our teammates. Our rotations have been really good. Obviously, there's still breakdowns here and there, but I think overall it has been better.
And this weekend at Minnesota, they're retiring Maya Moore's jersey. I know she was one of your idols growing up. What will it mean to be there for that?
Yeah, it's super cool. I'm excited that they're doing it during this game. And, obviously, for me as a little kid, it's a very full circle moment for myself. I've been able to live out my dream of playing the WNBA and be in the arena when they're retiring her jersey. Somebody that's done so much for this league, done so much for just society in the world. She's a great individual, a great person, and obviously getting to meet with her at the end of my college season was really cool too, and have her in Carver Hawkeye Arena for a game, and now getting to go play at the Target Center in a place where I went to my first WNBA game, and be there for her night will be really special.
Are you starstruck meeting Little Freddy at all?
Yeah, I mean, he just randomly shows up on the weekends. It's if it's not past his bedtime, or and it's on the weekend, so it has to be an early weekend game, then Freddy's there. So it's once every 10 games he appears. But I love him. He loves me. It's it's awesome.
When you're locked into playing, how far into the game was it before you even noticed? Oh, he's here.
Oh, I noticed that starting lineup. So it's because we were all talking about it before the game. We're because you said that the game before, Little Freddy's definitely going to show up today. And what do you know? There he is. It's awesome.
Little Freddy?
I will not.
We love Little Freddy. Caitlin loves Little Freddy. Little Freddy's coming every game.
Do you like having this week off now after you're playing hot, or do you want to get right back out there with the way you guys are going?
The momentum that we had going. I wish we could, have a couple days, get a breather, and then play. But we're going to make this time. We're going to get everything we can out of it. Just keep working on things that we need to work on to beat Minnesota.
The way your offense has been playing of 2 straight games with 4 consistently good quarters, what do you think has led to that, and how much of that is from your defensive attention leading to some offensive success?
I think a lot of it has to do with us getting stops. That was, we were able to get out in transition, and that's where we're at our best. And then, we were able to push the pace, able to get downhill, and then we just hit out open shots. And that's, when we do that, we're able to put some points on the board.
We can see Temi in here. What was she able to do today, if anything, and how's she trending?
So good to see Temi out here. We're going to finish. We're going to get together and see how she felt, see what she feels like. Hopefully she's hopeful for this weekend.
How much confidence does it give you that you didn't get your first win over a team with a 500 record until the end of June, and now you have 2 in a row?
Yeah, I just give all the credit to these guys for the work they put in and showing up every day, ready to play regardless of who that competition is. We had a problem earlier where we'd play a really good team and get a good win, and then we'd play and not play as well. I thought for me, just the growth was the 2 games, putting it back to back, 2 good games together, getting those wins was huge for us.
Did any players' leadership kind of shine to you in that transition to having 2 good games in a row, having that right mentality consecutively?
Yeah, I think there was a change in the way I felt with just from having all these practices and the time spent with each other during these 3 weeks. Their relationships have changed. They're playing differently. They get so excited for each other. I think that's what I told them before. The joy that they showed, for Lexi in that game the other day against Seattle was that's the feel that just makes you feel so good about what we're doing.
Lynn talks about the rebuild a lot and how she thinks that you guys are ahead of schedule on that. Just how do you feel about the rebuild, especially with a playoff berth? imminent?
Yeah, I think the one thing that keeps always popping in my head is don't get too high and don't get too low. Stay with the process. Like as a coach, you play these 2 games and you beat these 2 really good teams, and you can maybe get ahead of yourself. Like we've got to just keep building blocks. Just keep building blocks. I mean, there's a way you win too. Just like you have to, when you're losing, how you have to practice. When you're winning, you've got to just find a way to get better, get to the next step.
You mentioned, obviously, you're going to have a conversation with Caitlin about her technicals on Sunday. Did you have that conversation?
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations. I mean, she's a fiery athlete, very, competitor. I don't need her to be sitting out a game anytime soon.
Temi, what were you able to actually do today, and how do you feel about your progress potentially coming back to the court?
I feel good, yeah, coming back. It's a day-by-day situation, so we just have to take it each moment as it comes.
How frustrating, if at all, has it been this season to just be battling through something it feels like all the time from an injury perspective?
Oh, absolutely frustrating. Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that in my career, back-to-back like that. So it was definitely a mental struggle, most of all. But I'm glad to see the light now.
What have you thought watching these last 2 games, seeing 2 straight really good performances from your team?
Oh, so proud of my team. In some ways, I'm just like, let me just keep watching and not mess up the mojo because we're looking great. But I'm glad to be on the way back and hopefully can add a little spark as well.
Yeah, I know when you originally got injured your thumb, you played 2 more games. Did you re-injure, or did they just shut you down after the 2 games?
They just shut me down. Yeah, I was in denial. After the first injury, I injured my thumb in Seattle, and then I played 2 games after that. I was just running on adrenaline, running on being angry, annoyed, and then they shut me down.
How much was it bothering you in those games? Like, what hurt when you touched the ball, everything?
Amazing. Yeah, like I never felt better. I don't know why they shut me down.
Have you seen anything change in the way they're playing that's leading to these games going so long? I mean, they're scoring at such a high level, but what have you seen that's kind of led to this clicking these last 2?
Just like learning each other more and like knowing what each other is going to do on offense and defense. So we make less mistakes. We're not thinking someone's doing something that they're not going to do. So it just feels like more of a flow.
I know you talked at the beginning of the season about like kind of having more tenacity in the early games this season. Just have you seen that kind of when you've been on the bench?
I mean, you see us getting all these texts and getting all these fights. I'd call that a bit more tenacious. I mean, for real, all those little things matter and like make a difference. When you can stand up for yourself, you don't have to be fighting. But if you have a little bit of, don't like stick up for yourself, then that adds up.